Hello everyone. Happy Easter holidays na I hope mko fiti. Tunataka kuongelea another topic as usual, another critical topic. We're usually discussing some of the things that affect our society, our modern day society. Now, one of the key issues that nakonga discuss today ama iko hugely misunderstood ni idea ya equality. So equality ama egalitarianism, which is the word I'll be using frequently, so I need to define what egalitarianism is. Egalitarianism is the idea that was proposed by so many people, so many philosophers, the likes of Akina John Rawls Rawls in 1971, and the likes of Akina John Locke. So egalitarianism, at face value, it simply means equality of rights. Human beings are all equal. We should be treated equally, regardless of where we come from, our backgrounds, our race, and all of that. You see, egalitarianism at face value is a good thing, because who wouldn't want such thing? But then the thing that we fail to see when it comes to egalitarianism is that egalitarianism can be split into two. The equality can be split into two. So we can have equality of opportunity and equality of outcome. So equality of opportunity, it simply means that kila mtu anakuwa presented with the same number of opportunities, so that ukiwa interested in opportunity A, unaweza enda and you might fit in, na someone might be interested in opportunity B. But as a society, we need to level the ground so that people find it easy to occupy some of these niches. So no matter, we need that philosophy of equality of opportunity. Now, the reason I'm a proponent of equality of opportunity is as follows. See, one thing you have to understand, or one thing we have to understand as a society, is there's this thing called talent, and talent is it's one of the most rare variables that exists in our midst. So for you to identify a talent in someone, it's a hard task. So utapata maybe kuna person A, maybe he comes from a particular community and is extremely talented in maybe industrial activity, maybe craft, maybe art. So talent is extremely rare, regardless of where you come from. So the reason nilikuwa nasema I'm a proponent for equality of opportunity is, see, since talent is rare, talent and skill, it's extremely rare. So we would want to open doors for those who are talented, so that they may come in, because number one, they know things that we don't know, that the average person doesn't know, and number two, they can accomplish things extremely fast. So you would want them to occupy these niches, so that they may bring forth or radiate some of these things that lack in our society. For example, you would want people who are talented maybe in identify scientific, what would you say, scientific ideas, maybe people who can invent, maybe people who can extrapolate more on what has already been discovered. So that's the reason I'm a proponent for equality of opportunity, because talent is rare, and you need these people who are very hard to find to occupy this positions, so that they may produce things that may benefit us as a human species, so that we can prolong our period of survivability in our planet. So that's number one. So that's equality of opportunities, and I think I've laid it out quite clearly. But number two, and this is where the theory starts to get bloody corrupt, is equality of outcome. It can be replaced with equity. Equity simply means equality of outcome. Now, this is where I have a problem with the whole idea of egalitarianism, because you see, we assume that human beings are equal in terms of abilities, in terms of temperament, in terms of motivation, in terms of preferences. So due to that, it's easy for us to assume that simply because we are motivated by the sort of same things, we should end up in the same place, because that's the idea of equity. Equity simply means that we should sort of end up in the same place. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what task you're handling at a particular moment or in a specific time frame, we should end up in the same place. Now, there's a problem with that, because one of the key things that has been established, especially in psychoanalysis, is that one of the key things that distinguishes human beings is, number one, motivation, number two, temperament. Even in the same let's say gender, men are influenced differently in a particular niche, in a particular society as compared to another society. So there is no way uta expect ati sisi sote tuta end up in the same place. But according to the egalitarians, hiyo ndio the core philosophy, is that human beings essentially, and this is where Marx, by the way, alipata idea ya hiyo Marxism and establishing the Communist Manifesto with Hegel, is that they believe that we should all end up in the same place. So whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're black or white, whether you're Asian or you're African, we should all end up in the same place. Now, the problem with that nime establish that human beings tunakonga influence differently. Kuna vitu mingi zenye zina play a part behind the scenes ama underneath our existence zenye zinafanya we can't, essentially it's impossible for us to end up in the same place. See, men and women, kuna hiyo disparity when it comes to salary. So men are, for every 70 cent a woman earns, a man, oh no, for every dollar a man earns, a woman earns $70 cents. I'm talking in terms of the dollar. So they think that's as a consequence of oppression, but no, that is not as a consequence of oppression, because according to the feminists is that men and women essentially wanafaa kupata the same salary, but that's impossible, and I'll show you how that's impossible. See, men and women are different in this sense. In the field of psychology, imekuwa established that kama kuna kitu ina differentiate between males and females, apart from physical appearance and all that, ni temperament na interest. So you take something like the trait extraversion, unapata males are extremely assertive while women are extremely enthusiastic. And then you take something like openness, you find that women are more open as compared to the male counterparts. You take something like agreeableness, male are extremely inagreeable as opposed to females who are extremely agreeable. You know, kuna overlap. Okay, draw your curve in terms of agreeableness. Obviously kuna hiyo overlap between male na females, so that utapata male maybe iko hivi and then female zinakaribiana, kuna sort of hapa katikati mali the two curves zina overlap. But now the problem ni ukiangalia at the extremes, and that's why we sort of make our decisions. For example, kama a company ikitaka kuchagua employees, hawangaliangi the average, hawangaliangi the overlap, huwa wanaangalia the extreme. So for example, ukienda kwa a given space, let's say a market, and then uchukue mwanaume na uchukue mwanamke, there's a high probability that there is a 60% chance that the man is extremely the man is more aggressive as compared to the female. So you'll be 60% right when you choose that the man is more aggressive as compared to the woman. But unaona hapa kuna hii 40%. So hii 40% gonna bring about the overlap when it comes to stipulating the distribution curve. So another difference between males and female, mekwambia men are extremely inagreeable as compared to women. So when it comes to maybe negotiating for a salary, utapata mwanaume ata push back, tuseme the employer ana suggest a figure, the man will say no because of A, B, C, and D. Now the woman is likely to agree with whatever the employer suggests, simply because women are more agreeable. I'm not saying all women, I'm saying like in that distribution there's a tendency of more women to be agreeable as compared to the male counterparts. So hapo ndio kuna issue. So that's problem number one. Problem number 2 ni yenye na bring about the disparity in salary ni ati, you see, men and women have interest in different things. So for example, men are more interested in things. You see, cars, objects, right? Machines. Men are more interested in those things. While on the other side, females are more interested in people. Sawa. Na hii ndio that's one of the key variables zenye zina influence hiyo difference when it comes to compensation, fiscal compensation. So utapata the things zenye women wako interested more zinakuanga associated na people. For example, you take a field like fashion. Unaona, your fashion mostly ina influence people. You take something like medicine, utapata we have more female doctors, we have more female nurses. When it comes to education, utapata kuna more female teachers as compared to male female to more male teachers, sorry. Now take something like psychology, utapata there are more female therapists as compared to male therapists, and that's because of that trait where women are more interested in people as compared to men who are more interested in things. On the other side, utangalia men are more interested in STEM courses, engineering, technology, math na nini tena science. Utapata mostly men wanakuanga interested na hizo vitu. So utajiuliza like, okay, sawa, Evanol umesema men are more interested in things na women are more interested in people, but you haven't really explained what brings about the difference in fiscal compensation. Now, hapa ndo difference inakujia. The difference comes in scalability. So assume you're a nurse, take a female nurse. You can only attend to one patient. There's no way to attend to 20 patients simultaneously. You can only attend to a number of patients in a given period of time. Sawa. Maybe you're a teacher. You can only teach efficiently. You can only teach, let's say, 20 students. There's no way you can teach 1,000 students at a go. At a given classroom, itakuwa ngumu sana to identify that student A ame capture what I'm trying to communicate. Student B maybe unaona wako na differences. So there's no way uta scale the teaching profession. There's no way uta scale nursing. There's no way uta scale therapy, because as a therapist you can only deal with one patient at a time. But on the other side, the males, hizi vitu zenye wako interested in, they're easily scalable. Take something like computer science. Saizi kuna nini ya AI. Umeona tunaweza build AI robotics zenye zinaweza tackle a plethora of tasks at a given time. So assume maybe kitambo ulikuwa una tackle one task in 10 minutes. So saizi, because of the computer science, men have come up with better ways za ku solve a huge number of problems within that period of time, the 10 minutes. So assume ulikuwa maybe una solve 10 problems in 1 hour, but because of computer science sasa tumecome up na better technological equipments that make it easier to solve maybe 1,000 problems in that same 1 hour. So hiyo ndio bring about hii difference, because kama huyu alikuwa na solve 10 tasks in 1 hour na maybe alikuwa anakuwa compensated maybe let's say $1 per task, na saizi anaweza solve 1,000 problems in that same 1 hour. So unaona anakuwa maybe anakuwa compensated more, anakuwa compensated na $1,000. On the other side, like you see, when you're dealing with a person, there's no way you can scale it up. But take something like a babysitter. Yeah, assume you're a babysitter. You can only take care, you can only take care of one child. There's no way one babysitter can take care of 100 children. There's a great book yenye imeandikwa na Warren Farrell. Now, is it why men earn more than women? I'm probably butchered the title, but it's something along those lines. And amejaribu ku explain the different things zenye zinafanya men wana earn more as compared to women. Now there's no way you'll make these things equal. There's no way you'll make these things equal. And I'll tell you, hii kitu ishaifanywa mahali to sort of flatten the playing field. Ni nini ita happen? Will we reduce the differences between males and females? So to look at this, we have to go to the Scandinavian countries, Scandinavia. So Kenya ilifanyika kwa these Scandinavian countries ni walikuwa nataka ku sort of abolish ama to relinquish the difference between males and females, essentially to make males and females more equal, you see, to bring about more egalitarianism. So Kenya wakafanya ni wakaenda kwa policies zao na kila anything yenye ilikuwa ina bring about the difference wakamalign with, wakazitoa, wakazi push away, wakasema hapana, everyone is equal, males and females are equal. So atuta put a barrier that prevents either males to get into certain fields ama females to get into certain fields. Sawa sawa. So for example, maybe ungepata kitu kama hospitali walikuwa wanasema maybe we need more females, but hizi policies zikakuwa scrap na wakasema hapana, let men also apply for some of these jobs, which is a good thing by the way. So later, so you'll expect that umetoa hizi barriers na you'll expect, oh, so males and females watakuwa more equal. But that's exactly what didn't happen. Kenya ili happen ni hizo difference zilikuwa even more. This is what I mean. So ume flatten your playing field. So essentially kila mtu anaweza chagua kitu anataka. Si ati niko bad simply because I'm a man I'm supposed to do this, and simply because I'm a woman I'm supposed to do this. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hizo ndio vitu wali abolish kwa the Scandinavian countries. Wakasema anyone ama everyone is free to choose whatever they want. Kenya ili happen ni ama Kenya walisahau ku incorporate into their hypothesis ni ati males and females wako na different interests. Vitu zina grip males sio vitu zina grip females. So since ume flatten your playing field, so females wataangalia sema wako like saizi opportunities ziko more in the health industry because females are more interested in people, so more females wakaingia, you know, the health industry. On the other side the same thing happened, wako like so saizi si there's no need to compete na the females because on the other side opportunities zimekuwa mingi, so ukapata more males wakaingia into the STEM fields, na sasa unapata hiyo difference kama ilikuwa 10 ime increase mpaka 70. It's because of this one thing. Males and females wako na different interests. Now there's no way utakuja useme ati we need to sort of make this the same. Hizi differences tunafaa kuziabolish na tufanye society ikuwe more egalitarian. It's impossible. No one has figured it out. There's no way society itakuwa equal ati we build a classless society. It's impossible. Imekuwa tried na the Soviets, walikuwa wanajaribu to get rid of the class system, ika break. Same thing na China na Mao alijaribu kuforce your idea into the China population, ili collapse. Na nimekwambia reason ni hii, watu see the same, interest ni different, so there's no way utaforce mtu afanye kitu hataki. That's number one. Na number two, vitu zenye watu wako interested in, they're not necessarily the same in value. Unaweza kuwa uko more interested in art as a person, but mtu mwingine ako more interested in maybe a field like medicine. So unaona hapa art na medicine obviously hazita bring about equality. Hizi vitu mbili haziwezi kuwa the same na zinakuwa brought about na hiyo difference in temperament ama difference in interest. So jaribu ku equalize hizo difference, ndio ina bring about hii war, ndio ili bring about the death of almost 60 million people. Well, some may argue ni 20 million, but again, if you're talking about a difference in millions, hey bro, you kind of made your point. So whether it's 50 million, whether it's 20 million, whether it's 30 million, that's absolutely irrelevant. Haya, ini kitu ingine yenye wasee waangalie. Tuna assume that males and females wanafanga kuwa equally represented in a given field. So take napenda kutumia health sana because niko kwa hiyo field and ya animals, animal health. So take something like health. There's no way utaniambia ati females watakuwa represented 50% na males watakuwa represented like 50%. How? Na uta assume that that's the only thing enye ina bring about the difference in the society. The difference in the society is brought about simply because males and females are also equally represented in these fields. Sawa, but kuna vitu zingine, kuna issue ni wasewa huwa wanasahau that ikitu haikuangi univariable, it's multivariable. Because kama ninaweza kuseparate ama kama ninaweza separate a society into males and females. Number 2, unasahau pia ninaweza divide a society into attractive na less attractive. Kitu ingine ninaweza split society into weight. Niseme kuna wenye wako obese na kuna wenye wako lean, ama wako extremely emaciated. So how watu wote wanafaa kuwa pia represented in that hierarchy. So mmesema okay, sawa, males wanafaa kuwa represented 50%. Females pia wanafaa kuwa represented 50%. That's one variable. Kuna variable lingine pia. Kuna IQ. Kuna wale wenye wako more intelligent as compared to another subset wenye wako less intelligent. Well, should we also represent awase wenye wako less intelligent? Because pia wao wako marginalized. Assume you're an employer. You would want to employ someone who's more intelligent, someone who's smart. Now, if you pick more of the smart people, obviously wale wenye wako less intelligent ama wale wenye wako na a lesser IQ watakuwa marginalized. Juu sasa nani atataka kuwa employ? Hiyo ni variable lingine. Variable lingine ni attractiveness. If you're more attractive, obviously people are gonna pick you. If you're less attractive, hakuna mtu atakuchagua. That's just human nature. Should we also represent that in that hierarchy, ama in that in all levels of analysis? So issue tunadhaningi ni ati ni males and females. Hapana, variables ni mingi. Kuna attractiveness, kuna weight, kuna IQ, kuna physique, nini tena. Variables ni mingi. So mkisema that tunafaa ku represent everyone that is marginalized. Should we also pick IQ? Wale wako let's say less gifted. Should we also pick them? So unaona hapo kunakuwa na issue. Huwezi sema ati in a given industry ati kila mtu anafaa kuwa represented. How are you going to achieve that? Ati kuanzia CEO ukienda paka kwa HR, uende paka kwa employees, mpaka uende kwa the hands-on worker. Kila group inafaa kuwa represented. Utaachieve kitu kama hiyo aje? How? Because nimewambia variables hapa ni mingi. Kuna gender, kuna race, kuna background, kuna academic qualification, kuna skills. So vitu kama hizo zote zinafaa kuwa represented in that particular hierarchy. It's impossible. So hapo unaona ndo kuna issue na equality of outcome. Because kama in a given hierarchy tunafaa ku represent kila mtu ndio to achieve your equality of outcome. Well, that's automatically impossible. Utaachieve kitu kama hiyo aje? Unless you're willing to be a tyrant, mwenye aseme okay, tunafaa kuanza kufanya A, B, C and D. Hata kama uko interested na hii kitu, lazima uingie kwa hii field. It's impossible. So the feminists wenye wako huko nje, sawa, wenye wana complain that men are earning more than women, fikiria kitu kama hiyo before you start complaining about the fact that women are being oppressed by males. Nimekwambia vitu ni mingi hapa na vitu tunasahau. The feminists wao wanasahau kufactor in ni ati females are more open and more agreeable than males. Actually hiyo ndo factor ina bring about the difference in salary. Ni hiyo tu, hakuna kitu ingine. Mostly mkikaa chini na your employer na you are very agreeable, atakwambia hii ni figure na utaitikia tu. But if you're hardly agreeable, atakwambia ni figure na you'll push back. Utamwambia hapa, these are my qualifications, and these are the figures, ama this is the figure I would want you to compensate. Hata ukiangalia the most successful women, by the way, they are hardly agreeable. Enda ukae na wao. Si mtu utamwambia they are no pushovers, atutamwambia tu kitu na itikie. Atakuchallenge. Hiyo ndo kitu nilikuwa ninataka tackle leo. Na I hope me understand that we can never be equal. Before I forget, pia, if you want to bring about equality, that's equality of, remember, ninataka hapa equality of outcome. Equality of outcome ndo niko na issue nayo. Sina issue na equality of opportunity, na nimewambia, because of that, the whole idea ya talent na skills. So now the fact that talent is so rare. Sina shida na equality of opportunity. But when it comes to equality of outcome, so unataka ku bring about a socialist utopia, mali kila mtu ni equal. So why go to work in the first place? Because the reason watu wanaendanga work ni to bring about inequality. Now, people have a hard time grappling with that sort of idea. Ni ati ukienda job, aim yako ni nini? Aim yako si ni kuelevate. Aim yako ni kuangalia tuko wote pamoja na hii mass, hii population. Mimi kenye nataka kufanya ni nataka kujiinua. Nitoke kwa hiyo ni distribution. Hiyo ndo kitu unafanya ukienda job. Otherwise, kama kila mtu tuta end up in the same place, then why go to work in the first place? Why go to work? Why wake up in the morning na useme ati naenda kufanya job? Si ukae tu kejani simply because, okay, well, kila mtu tuta end up in the same place. Now, one of the easiest way, I'll end the video with this. One of the easiest way to make a society equal, it's to make everyone poor. That's the easiest way. You want to make a society equal, make everyone poor. Because to make everyone rich, hiyo ni hard. Number one, kuna wale wenye work more. There are people who are high in conscientiousness as compared to watu wengine wenye wako low in conscientiousness. Conscientiousness ni ile yenye trait. So kuna konga na big 5 traits. Kuna openness, conscientiousness, agreeableness, extraversion na neuroticism. Anyone who's conscientious ni mtu mwenye ako willing kufanya kazi, because the two subsets zenye zina exist under conscientiousness ni industriousness na orderliness. So watu wenye wako more industrious na watu wenye wako more orderly, obviously they'll get the results as compared to someone who's less industrious na someone who's less orderly. Hiyo, by the way, ni factor ingine siku factor in. Ni ati kuna watu wako more industrious na kuna watu wako more orderly, na kuna watu wako less industrious na less orderly. So should we also include ours wenye wako less industrious na less orderly in that hierarchy? Tuseme, okay, these people also need to be factored in kwa hii hierarchy ya society. Variables ni mingi. So going back to the idea ya kwenda job. So umeenda job, umejituma more, you're supposed to be compensated more as compared to ule msajajituma, obviously. So there's no way utasema ati simply because wote tumeenda job tunafaa kuwa compensated equally. Absolutely not. It doesn't make sense. Ule mse mwenye ana put in more effort ata complain. Ama kama alikuwa na put in 30 hours, ataanza ku put in 10 hours. Tell me down in the comment section. Like, tuna figure out aje idea ya equality of outcome. How? Considering hizo variables zote. How do you factor in all those people? Na wanze kusema, okay, all these people wanafaa kuwa represented in a particular discipline ama in a particular domain. It's so bloody hard. So this is a challenge to you feminists. Mimi nataka mniambie sawa mnataka men and female, males and female wakuwe equally represented in every discipline. Sawa. Sina shida na hiyo. Well, what about hizi variables zingine zinaenda wapi? Ama nyinyi mnaangalia tu males versus females, ama angalia vitu zingine? Well, hata ukiangalia kwa hiyo side ya females pia wako equal. Kuna wale watajituma zaidi as compared to others. There are females who are more attractive as compared to others. I know it's a taboo saying that, but that's just the reality. Kuna wale wako more attractive, hata kwa male side kuna wale wako more attractive as compared to others. Kuna wale wenye wako na a good physique as compared to others. So should we take wale wenye wana a good physique kama they are less attractive, pia to find niche yenye ama to find a way yenye watakuwa represented? How? Tell me how. Hiyo ni kuforce watu kufanya vitu hawataki kufanya. So this idea of egalitarianism, sina shida na equality of opportunity. Mi sina shida nayo. If that's what you're agitating for, well and good. But equality of outcome, hapa sasa ndo mnaanzanga kumuddy the waters. Haujui wanamaanisha nini wakisema equality of outcome. So hii idea ya sijui diversity, equity na inclusivity, it doesn't make sense in any society. No sane group of people wataamua abide by hiyo sijui diversity, inclusivity and equity. Kwanza hii equity, it's one of the most genocidal philosophies. Equity, kutaka watu wamalizie pahali pamoja. It's impossible. Na I think nimelay out kwa hii video. So forgive me for rambling. Najua nimeramble a lot. If you like what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any question, just post it down the comment section. And if you like what you're doing, you can share to your friends and help the channel grow. Otherwise, that's it for today. Ciao.